And we are live. Since 3 minutes. Ahoy, welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland.playit with TAGN, the Angry Game News, every day 10 a.m. Eastern on this channel. Switzerland.playit on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Although nothing happens on Twitch really, nothing happens on Kick really. Sometimes John Thunder is on YouTube. It's Wednesday and we have news. Not a lot of news, but we have some news, and let's get into it and check them out. What happened the last 24 hours in the world of gaming, video games, that is, in the world of shows, TV shows, and a little bit of movies sometimes. Let's get going, shall we? The Nintendo Switch 2 is finally available on Amazon, but there's a catch. I reported already on that issue with Amazon and Switch, in particular Nintendo with the Switch 2 release, all that. You had nothing Switch 2 related on Amazon in North America, mainly in the US. I think Canada had no problems, but now they figured stuff out, and finally you can get your Switch 2 on Amazon US. But there's a catch. This article tells us a little bit about the story behind it, and it was spotted by a user named Wario64. And you can't just get it right away. You can't just order it. You have to go on some kind of like a wish list, like a waiting list, sort of. On July 8th, spotted by Wario64 and others on Twitter, an Amazon listing for the Switch 2 quietly went live on the retail giant. There's also a page for the Switch 2 Mario Kart World Bundle. Both are priced as you would expect, $450 for the Switch 2 and for $500 for the bundle. So no Prime deal, sorry. And you can't actually buy either version yet. Instead, you have to request an invite and hope you get picked. Yeah, for folks looking to grab Switch 2, this might be a solid option. I don't know how solid it can really be, but go try it out. On my end, I try to find it just like regularly. Go to Amazon.com, type in Switch 2 console or Switch 2. I couldn't find it. But down in the video description, you have the links of every article I always talk about every day. And you have also the Wario post here. And those links actually work. Those go to those requesting for an invitation to buy the Switch 2. I'm not interested myself. I just find it interesting, the whole issue with Nintendo and Amazon, and it seems to get better for consumers and customers. Ahoy Unfolding, ahoy Aramis. If you've ever woke up to breakfast at your friend's house only to be greeted by a big omelet of turkey, bacon, and disappointment, then go ahead and smash the Rumble repost, follow, and share mofocus. Thank you there, Lady Tunes on Kick. My Kick is growing. I wish money-wise it would grow there. Morning, everyone. Hello, Ike from the Caribbean. How it's going? It's going so far fine. It's going so far fine. How are you guys doing? Good to see you for the big Switch news on Amazon. Are you now more interested in the US with your Amazon addiction, maybe? To buy it now, finally? I don't know about that, but there you have it. They figured stuff out and it's available, sort of, for a pre-order phase. Ahoy Haste. Good morning. I'm well. What's happening on Amazon? Switch 2, like I said, Switch 2 is available finally in the US on Amazon. Was not the case. 3 weeks ago, I think it was, sort of, I reported that they had like a feud. And they started figuring out the feud, and both reported like, no, nothing is happening, we are good. But There was no Switch 2 stuff on Amazon. No official Nintendo Switch 2 stuff on Amazon. But it seems to be coming around and you can order it. I can barely contain my excitement. Ahoy, Godzilla. Godzilla is gonna pre-order 2 of those things. I mean, you might make money. Don't open it and resell it for double the price in the future. Who knows? Because we don't know how many consoles are out there actually, you know. I might have a tiny home for rent on my property if you want to stay in as a hike. Depends on your definition of tiny. I mean, I saw your home, so is it just a parking lot there? Might be a little bit too tiny, just saying. Or was it like this side little patio of grass? Funny. You can stay in the boonies or in the outskirts of the city. Oh, you mean like that? Yeah, that might be a more interesting thing. Anyhow, are you excited for maybe the possibility of Fallout 3 being remastered? That's my question. Multiple Fallout games in development, including potential Fallout 3 remaster report. Bethesda is reportedly full steam ahead on the Fallout franchise, with multiple projects in the fan-favorite RPG series supposedly in development. Appearing on the Friends Per Second podcast, the VGC journalist Jordan Middler made the affirmation claim, saying there are multiple Fallout projects in development. He then goes on to cheekily suggest that one of them is even that one that I'm sure you're all wanting, teasing a possible remaster of Fallout 3 among the crop of upcoming projects. Middler had little other concrete news about the exact nature of these upcoming Fallout projects, except that it's not far enough along that any of us will be playing one of these games in the immediate future. But even without that knowledge, it's hardly surprising news to hear. Fallout and Bethesda's other major franchise, Elder Scrolls, have long been among the upper echelon of Xbox portfolio, and were the key factors in Microsoft's $7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda. And yeah, Microsoft wants money back, and it seems like a possibility to make a lot of money back with Bethesda, with this purchase, by just remastering old stuff, because we are stupid consumers, right? We don't care. We just buy stuff without thinking twice. And many people actually have all those games by Bethesda. Many people, like Fallout 1, 2, 3, Tactics, 4 even, and Vegas and all those games, right? And actually probably the minority really played those games through, because they were really buggy. They are still really buggy if you have just a basic game without any mods. So you need mods somewhat to make them playable, right? To make them even a little bit more fun, even a little bit more appealing visually these days, because the vanilla experience, not so great with any of those. Maybe 4 still holds up a little bit, but not too much really. So there's a way to make money, and they showed that with remastering stuff, people just seem to buy it without a second thought, really. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this myself, to be honest. He has a spare room in the broom closet. No, thank you. That's too small. I'm fairly big enough guy. I need a little bit more than a fucking broom closet. And every time I come out, Godzilla is there. He's coming out the closet, calling me gay and shit. Honestly, liked New Vegas and Fallout 4 more. Yeah, New Vegas, I played it on my channel. Go check it out if you want. It might be New Vegas, though. It might be New Vegas instead of 3, actually. And it was already in the talks. rumored a lot that New Vegas is the next one to be remastered by Bethesda. Oblivion just showed us that consumers are consumers. They buy stuff without a second thought, like I said. Beside those potential projects, Bethesda has hardly been shy about acknowledging that fifth mainline Fallout game is in the works, though it has shared that it isn't coming anytime soon. First, the studio has to finish up work on Elder Scrolls 6, which was first announced back in 2018 and is still in production with no release date on the immediate horizon. Yeah, that's actually true, right? Elder Scrolls 6. Another Elder Scroll people just gonna buy and they're gonna wait for modders to make it fun. I think it was with all the Elder Scroll the case. It was with all the Fallouts the case. At least the 3D ones, right? By itself, the games are boring. I know that for a fact. Because, for example, our beloved John Thunder here on Rumble or YouTube, go check him out. He never played it through. At least he told us that. He never played it through the vanilla experience, but he likes to mod stuff, and those games are like perfect for that modding scene, you know, because the community is super into it, and Bethesda gives at least gave us the freedom to mod the shit out of those games, right? But yes, there you have it. Some new rumors. No, nothing concrete at all. But yeah, I mean, old developer guy, you know, he knows more, I guess. Ahoy, ever Eden? No, don't mess with Fallout 3. I heard they were remastering Fallout 3 and New Vegas back like 2 years ago. Yeah, New Vegas was the more rumored when they announced the Oblivion remaster. It will be the same exact game with a new skin, just like Oblivion. But that's not true, Godzilla, because the Oblivion remaster actually got like a mixture of two engines, game engines, like their old whatever engine they have at Bethesda, with Unreal Engine. It's like a weird mixture. That's the reason why you still have not really a lot of other mods for this new remaster. But there is a mod community very active still, and what is called Skyblivion, I think it's called, which takes like the appearance of Skyrim and puts it into the Oblivion, the original one. Every Eden gives us a candle. She likes the big black candles. It will be the same. To be honest, I would rather buy a remaster than most new games. Yeah, I feel often the same. I think they both are being remastered. Maybe. I hope they don't remove the non-political correct ideas from Fallout 3. There's some stuff that story-wise, they were never really good. Oh, it's John Thunder on YouTube. Oh no, he's here. I just assumed because he came in late. Story-wise, the games were not, in my opinion, never really good. Neither Skyrim, Oblivion, nor Fallout 3, 4, New Vegas. New Vegas was probably the most exciting for me, at least, story-wise. I was talking to the other day about Liberty Prime and how it was made to make fun of patriotism, but is actually super based. Don't know what that means. Yeah, I never played it through, but I like Skyrim Novus with over 3,000 mods. Updated my mods a few days ago. Of course you love your mods, John Thunder. I mean the same voice actors and the same quests. Hey everyone, says John. Ahoy. No changes here there except a couple of new quests added. 2 engines, no wonder it runs like shit. Yeah, I mean... They couldn't use like the old engine. They Bethesda very well knows the old engine. Yeah, it doesn't age too well. It doesn't go along too well. But it makes great engine to mod, around it, because it's so stiff, it's so clunky, it's so choppy in the movement and all that. It makes a very great engine actually for the modder. Hey, just finished editing, post new benchmark video on YouTube. New Vegas was by a different studio than the Bethesda, and Chris Avalon wrote it. Yeah, but it uses the same technology on all that. That's the main thing why it was also modded a lot. Epic Games settles antitrust lawsuit with Samsung. Epic Games has settled its antitrust lawsuit against tech giant Samsung. Epic filed a legal complaint against Samsung last year, claiming a partnership between Samsung and Google undermined the jury's verdict in its previous antitrust case against Google, which it won back in December 2023. Yeah, so Epic had like an issue with Google, like advertisement-wise and system-wise and all that. And they won that. You can read the whole article. It's not super fun. And now they settled with Samsung pretty much, like outside the courtroom. As an app developer, Epic is harmed by Samsung's untruthful statements that its apps are unknown and unsafe, the company wrote in its complaint at the time. These false statements not only harm Epic's reputation, but lead to identifiable instances of users abandoning the installation of Epic apps, resulting in the lost or profits that would have resulted from purchases made by those users. They phrased it very wrong, in my opinion, here. Like they know for a fact they lost money, like for every download, for every user install of their Epic Apps stuff. Probably is the word you should insert here in this phrase. Resulting in probable lost profits. Not just, it's not secured lost. Fuck off. Epic can be also a dickhead and sometimes. CEO Tim Sweeney, however, has now confirmed Epic is dismissing our court case against Samsung following the parties' discussions, adding he was grateful that Samsung will address Epic's concerns. So yeah, the smartphones from Samsung in the future supposedly will not show you like, this app is not trustful. This app is very not trustworthy. You should consider not installing and all that. And it can damage your reputation, especially when you're a big company like Epic Games, that another bigger company tells like the users, don't trust those guys. Bad habit there by Samsung. But it seems like they got it figured out. Good news for us, maybe, who knows. Much better than Bethesda. If only Bethesda would have done it, yes. I tend to agree. Wait, going to go say hi on to Ike on YouTube. Hi, John Thunder on YouTube. I'm talking story-wise. Can't they track downloads versus installs versus app launches? They can do all that, at least on Samsung's side and Google's side, but because you have no access yet in the installment process on your smartphone as the app developer, because it has no access, right? So they don't know which app doesn't install correctly and all that. But yeah, I guess they figured it out. The hell with Unreal Engine 5. It's unoptimized and that blurry TEA, temporal anti-aliasing, and ghosting. John Thunder is not a fan of Unreal Engine 5. Holy crap. No news for me. Former Xbox boss says he knew Sony's Killzone 2 EA showcase was bullshit. Wow, 20 years later he comes out with this hindsight knowledge. Moron. 20 years ago, E3 2005, Sony showed off Killzone 2 video as an example of the PlayStation 3's powers over its rival console, Microsoft's Xbox 360. However, Sony later admitted that the Killzone 2 video wasn't actually gameplay footage, and that it was meant to be a target render for the team to achieve. Now, former Xbox boss Peter Moore has shared that he knew all along that the Killzone 2 demo was BS. While speaking with the game business, Moore recalled that Sony pulled a similar trick to outshine the Dreamcast when he worked for Sega. Sony essentially tried to adopt the strategy a second time to overshadow Xbox 360's launch. It was exactly the same tactics of creating a very expensive movie, said Moore. But when the game came out, it was completely BS. I knew it that night when I watched it. I thought there's no way they're delivering this experience. They were doing the same thing to us as they did with Sega, which is go. All right, cute little Xbox 360 coming out, but the big boys will be out with the PlayStation 3. So you should hang out around and wait for that, because look what we can do. I mean, that's just benchmarking in the end. Like, they can do stuff like that with they could have done stuff like that with the consoles. And I think he means with the Dreamcast because of PlayStation 2, probably, like the demo for Final Fantasy VIII, which was mind-blowing. The power is there. The problem is the programming, the developing of those software, of those games, you know. That takes like a lot of knowledge, especially in the case of the PlayStation 3. I mean, in the end, it's bullshit, yes. In the end, the outcome is bullshit. But the PlayStation 3 had this process power, this GPU power and all that. It was just super difficult to program for this console. That's why only a few games really utilized a lot of power of it. And even like Sony games themselves, like Killzone, didn't manage to utilize all the cores and the sub-cores, because the cell CPU was very sophisticated and still actually is. But to program it according to use all the sub-cores and all that stuff, very, very difficult then. The Xbox 360 had the PowerPC architecture, which was way easier. Also not super easy because it was something new for the console market. But it was way easier to do it on the 360, whatever you wanted to do. But the PlayStation 3 had this power actually, but yeah, it was not feasible for the developer. No, doesn't matter. The in-house developer had also troubles to no end. And the Sony didn't give out like hardware documentation, how to utilize really all the hardware in the PlayStation 3, which was stupid, but it was what it was. No shit, E3 2005, yeah. Like 20 years later, it comes out, oh, I knew it all along. I'm going to tell you now, 20 years later. Yeah, of course, all good. According to Moore, the game journalists also recognized Sony's strategy and quickly came to the conclusion that the PS3 wasn't powerful enough to produce that level of detail in real time. No, you could have achieved it, but would have been like a pain in the ass. It would be still in development if you wanted to do like all the whole game like that. Moore went on to describe Microsoft's strategic rollout of Xbox 360 and added that the landing to the console exclusive rights for Call of Duty 2 went a long way towards the company's success. In the present, Call of Duty remains the most successful FPS franchise, which is now owned by Microsoft after the Activision Blizzard sale. As for Killzone, the most recent game in the franchise was 2013's Killzone Shadowfall. I find it just interesting that a guy like that comes out 20 years later and pretends like, yeah, I knew it all along, and why now? Why exactly now? You know what I mean? I never heard of this guy talking about that like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when it was done then. Just a big mouth 20 years later, maybe. Who knows? More of him in this news. This is a little bit more interesting. It gives us a little insight about Microsoft and Xbox failure that turned out to be a good decision. Former Microsoft executive says if Xbox hadn't shelled out 1.5 billion to US dollars to fix its infamous red ring of death, I'm not sure the Xbox brand would be around today. From Switch 2 stick drift to the clunky controls of the Atari 5200, no console has ever been completely immune to trouble. But very few have gained the same notoriety as the Xbox 360 and its red ring of death, which former Xbox lead Peter Moore told us in 2020 cost the company 1.15 billion in damage control. Now Moore's willing to bet the fortune secured Xbox. Now Moore's willing to bet the fortune secured Xbox future. What is that phrase weird? Speaking to the game business in a new interview, Moore, who helped launch both the Xbox 360 and the Xbox, guessed that if Microsoft had not spent so much time and money on repairing the bone pile of the 360 consoles suffering from the technical issues, Xbox might have failed forever. What he is saying to us is if they wouldn't have invested like in just swapping consoles, giving out like refunds and all that, investing that money to have a better reputation, like having good customer service, having good support and all that. If they wouldn't have invested those 1.15 billion US dollars back then, man, that's like what, also 20 years ago, pretty much the same, right? In today's time, it's like 3.5 billion-ish, sort of, you know. Would have been a bigger loss for the company, he says, tells us here. It took us a while to figure out what was going on, Moore recalled. Were the fans in the right place, trying to figure out whether, wrapping the towel around it would create more heat, which would rejoin some of the issues in the cracks in some of the units. All of this was going on and it was stressful. But the one thing I will always say is, this was for us a defining moment. And he goes on to tell us a little bit more about this issue. This story I find it more interesting. Like he tells us, yeah, we invested a lot of money in fixing that thing to keep our reputation somewhat intact. Comes out 20 years later and says, I won the lottery. Pretty much. Is this an AI written article? It's ass. I don't think so. It's Ashley Bartham. Who the fuck is Ashley? Senior writer, so I know my English is sometimes dog shit, right? But that phrase was like breaking my brain. Everything can be AI these days, even Ike's mustache. No, my mustache is coming out again. All good. All good with that thing. ChatGPT is my guess. Could be because they get lazy. They get lazy, those games journalists. Funny story. In the research yesterday of the show, I read a lot of articles, as usual, like every day. And I had like 2 articles on game business or GameIndustry.biz by the same writer. It was a lady, a little bit older lady, I think. And her writing was like all over the fucking place, like even bad typos, Forza Horizon instead of Forza Horizon, And quoting others wrongly, like going everything instead of doing everything. So I just found her fucking webpage because her ex was like safe. Nobody could write her, and she was like protected on X. I wonder why. But I found her actual webpage, her own webpage, and she had like a contact form there. I told her, you need to fucking do better. Here are the article links, and here are the little paragraphs where you made like big mistakes, like stupid mistakes. Do better. And she actually fixed it. I checked it today. She actually fixed those 2 articles, which I find is surprising. Why my English is not my first English, my first language at all, but that I find shit like that, it's pretty amazing in my opinion. His mustache is coming out of the closet. It was never in the closet. It's getting out of hand at this point with the writing. I know she has not learned any lessons. She will just go on with her. I mean, look, if you call yourself game journalist or journalist at all, you should do a little bit better, like with the basic in that language you're writing in, right? You should know like the basic words and not do like too bad of a phrasing. That comes from me. That comes from me, man. If you would do it like a hobby, like I would do it right now, fine. I'm not making money with it, right? So it doesn't bother really anybody, but those people get money for their articles. That's what's pissing me off. She needs an English writing class, probably. Unfortunately, excessive use of AI these days has a high chance to turn your brain into mush. Very true. If you're not careful with the use of it, you can become stupid. Original Xbox and 360 both had a dogshit hard drives that would die early. That we had that already. Godzilla. Depends on the version. Depends on the version. The first version 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 of Xbox original. Yeah, I had more issues with the drive, with the original disk drive than the hard drive, actually. Are you stupid enough already? Nintendo collabs with Crocs for Animal Crossing footwear. Yeah. Nintendo has announced an Animal Crossing collaboration with popular footwear company Crocs, and the results are pretty much exactly what you expect. Yeah. I'm not gonna read more of this article because Crocs got more popular because of one movie, Idiocracy, 2006. The movie came out, and because of money, of the budget of the movie, they had like not like enough money to buy everybody like good footwear. They just bought a bunch of Crocs, and everybody in the future wears Crocs in that movie. So it made the Crocs even more popular. What I want to point out, though, is these days I find those prices a little bit like, what? For Crocs, you know? That's what Crocs are. And that's the themed one, so with Animal Crossing. Since its debut in 2001, the games have been enjoyed by millions of players worldwide, becoming a cherished title for fans of all ages. Nintendo said it's in its official announcement. The company feels that the shoes will help you step into relaxing nature-filled world with your favorite characters right at your feet. If you're a child, sure, you're gonna love that. If you're an adult, you are not an adult yet, I would say. The pricing is just insane. Pricing seems to be a bit confusing for now, though. The Crocs website lists the prices as $55 to $85 for kids and adult sizes, respectively, while Nintendo lists the adult sizes at $70 in the reveal. We'll update this if we receive clarification. $70 for rubber on your feet? Just because it's colored and has... I don't understand people who like that stuff, but yeah, there you have it, man. There you have it. What can I say? Ooh, expensive. You have to pay me to wear it. Crock of shit. Yeah. More shit! Speaking of shit. PS5's Ghost of Yotai, fully revealed in 20 minutes state of play on the 10th of July. I'm not going to talk about this too much. I just want to point out that on the 10th of July, we're going to see more of the gameplay, supposedly. I'm not too worried about the gameplay of this game, to be honest. I'm a lot worried about the story and the DEI in it. It's not the same company anymore. It has the same name, Sucker Punch, but the people are not there anymore. Those people who made Ghost of Tsushima are not those people who make this one. I mean, a few are still there and are also developing into this one, but it's not the same company. So I'm very, very worried about Ghost of Yotai, especially because I remember even the name of this bitch. She's a non-binary whatever. And she, whatever, right? Erika Oshii, or how you pronounce her name. And she was involved in Dragon Age, the Veilguard, you know, as a big voice there too. But she's now the voice actor and her lookalike in Ghost of Yotai. So I feel something woke is coming towards us, and I'm not gonna be very excited to get this game. I'm not gonna pay for it. That's for fucking sure. But yes, if you want to see about this game, I talked about it now about 8 months ago already when it was first announced and you got the first teaser trailer. I did a little bit of research and I gave already my thoughts about the whole issue, and yeah. But we're gonna see of the gameplay in 10th of July, 20 minutes video, supposedly. Are you excited about that? Sucker Punch is now Donkey Punch. Ghost of Wokai. Honestly, should have a stick with Jin Sakai. The problem is, and I researched that, the story of Yotai plays like 250 to 300 years later. It has really... I don't see any connection because in Ghost of Tsushima, the Mongols came in and like devastated the land and killed all kinds of civilians and people, and the way of the samurai was not sophisticated enough to fight against the Mongols, so you had to do like a mixture of being still samurai, like able to fight like a samurai, but also you have to be in the shadows like a ninja, right? Like a shinobi. And that's very dishonor-like to be a ninja, a shinobi. It's not the way of the samurai. It had like a really good story overall. Very emotional. The whole game is all the time on the edge of trying to make you cry, sort of, and very enclosed in the Mongol invasion back then. This plays like 250, 300 years later. I don't see any connection. Is she like a descendant of Sakai, of the Sakai clan, whatever? I don't see it, and I don't like that she's being so open about, yeah, I'm a non-binary and I'm so happy to play blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit. Fuck off. Fuck off. She might be from San Francisco. I don't know. Still, they could have just done a Decades sequel, moved to mainland Japan after the heavy storm, and downpours had Japan in a warlike state. They did like DLC stuff, like getting to the Sakai clan little side island and all that. So I think they did a. You don't need to make sequels to everything. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to make sequels to everything. Ahoy, Galaxy! How are you doing? I think that the story was done. Just leave it alone. Make a new game. How about that? Doubtful I dislike everything about this new game. Yeah, we have to wait, but I have no hopes for story wise. Monkeys, monkeys. I said Mongols. You Mongol haste. Did I say ahoy haste? By the way, ahoy. Did I miss a chat? One liney line. Isn't the MC a woman in this one? Yeah, that's what I'm. No, she's non-binary. She is non-binary. Whatever that means. Switch 2 is a massive hit. So where's all the conversation about it? Good fucking question, isn't it? We had the last report sales-wise, it just reached 5 million units sold globally. It might be more now on 5.5, maybe even 6 million. We don't really know yet. This article I actually find pretty well done overall. Good job, maybe Ollie Welsh there. 1 month ago, Nintendo announced that the Switch 2 had sold 3.5 million units in 4 days after its June 5th launch, making it Nintendo's fastest selling console ever and likely the biggest console launch of all time. It seems the new Switch is maintaining that momentum. Last week, an apparently accidental data leak on Nintendo's corporate website suggested that the new console had either sold or was projected to sell 5.4 million units through the end of June. PlayStation 5 sold 4.5 million units in almost twice that time. In other words, Nintendo has a hit on its hands, at least it's in short terms. Which makes it all the stranger that after a major blitz immediately surrounding the Switch 2 launch, there hasn't been much hype or lost conversation about the new consoles. Millions of people own one, but not that many of them seem to be talking about it. The gamer hive mind has moved on with surprising speed to the likes of Death Stranding 2. I don't know why you would take just that one out. Maybe people are interested in, I don't know, Dune. Not the Dune that Godzilla plays. He's playing old stuff. But maybe Dune is like, or this new hype game peak. People are peaking the whole time since a week or so. Switch to a hype is like a fart in the wind. I don't know about that, because you're going to see in this article, actually, he makes a really, really good point there. Has something gone wrong? I don't think so. In one crucial respect, Nintendo planned an unusual rollout for the Switch 2, which has yet to fully pay off. Is the console underwhelming? This is a matter of opinion, but to the extent that it's true, I think it was almost designed to be. As I pointed out in my Switch 2 review, the new console emphasizes continuity to an unprecedented degree. The interface is near identical to the Switch's. The form factor is extremely familiar, the data transfer process is seamless, and the features like Game Share and virtual game cards push the idea of high level of interoperability. Switch 2 has been designed to live alongside Switch as much as replace it, and to slip it into your life as easily as a new generation of iPhone. That's, for example, also a good point. Like, it feels like they try to make the Switch 1 still appealing to people, but at the same time try to make it like undesirable. It's weird to explain it, but somehow they are managing to put that stuff in people's mind. This is totally deliberate on Nintendo's part, and one of the things that most recommends the Switch 2, but inevitably makes the system a little less exciting and less of a talking point. It's a well-engineered and technically impressive upgrade to your Switch experience, but it's not an all-new experience. Another factor was Nintendo's choice of launch game for the Switch 2. Here, Nintendo again chose a degree of familiarity over the shock of the new. With its open world design, Mario Kart World is still theoretically a major shakeup for the Mario Kart series. It's caused its fair share of controversy within the hardcore Mario Kart community, but perhaps the most surprising thing about it is how comfortable and familiar it feels. Nintendo has bent over backwards to preserve the classical structure of and feel of a Mario Kart game, even within this new context. It seems likely that a silent majority of players have slipped into their daily gaming routine without a thought. So what he's telling us, people have just bought it and just playing it and not talking about it, pretty much. Like it's just become normal for all those people who got the game with the console, or rather the console with the game. And they're just playing it without like talking to their friends, because the friends are probably the same mind, just buying it and playing together without informing the world how much fun they might have. We don't really know because they don't talk about it, right? That's the thing. The biggest problem in that world is the only launch title. Yes, we come to that. We will come to that in a second here. I think Nintendo did something very smart here. Beyond this, Mario Kart as a whole is the essence of a known quantity. Nintendo probably chose a World as a Switch 2 launch title on the basis of Mario Kart 8's deluxe gigantic sales. But in doing so, it also chose a game series that people regard as kind of a ever-present utility for Nintendo's consoles, rather than an attention-grabbing system seller like, for example, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It's part of the fabric of almost every Nintendo's fans' life, but not necessarily what will get them most excited or generate the most conversation. This would all be a bit deflating if it weren't for the fact that Nintendo has another game ready and waiting that is a much bigger swing, and has the potential to effectively launch Switch 2 a second time. There you go, a second win. Donkey Kong Bonanza! July 17th launch date is a rarity. A major exclusive release timed just 6 weeks after the system's launch. I've argued before that the game could likely have been ready for Switch 2's launch, and that Nintendo has held it back, either out of fear of cannibalizing Mario Kart World sales, or as a marketing strategy to extend the hype window for the Switch 2. And I think that's more the case. I think Nintendo was smart enough, like, to think how we can have the hype going on, like make people wanting the console, and if you release like those two games already, they might buy them already together, and we're not gonna get new people to buy the console later on. I think it was a smart decision to do it this way, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna launch the game maybe with a bundle, make it again $500 with a bonanza, or something like that might happen. As a launch game, Bonanza seems like more exciting prospect than Mario Kart World. It's the first 3D Donkey Kong platformer in 25 years. It's a new game and change of franchise from Super Mario Odyssey team. And it's a bold, open-ended design, more than a little reminiscence of Breath of the Wild, with free form destructibility at its core. Yeah, if you have watched a little bit of gameplay, and that's why he tells us the game probably is already ready and ready to go since the launch. Gameplay shows you that you can destroy a lot in this world, and not for me. It's not for me, but I'm telling you, kids are gonna love this game. Kids are gonna love this game, and it's gonna be a big seller. It's gonna be selling like hotcake and all that. And Nintendo did like a good marketing strategy there. On the face of it, it has a level of scarcity and novelty that Mario Kart World just doesn't. There's every chance that Donkey Kong Bonanza will revive Switch 2 hype and flood in Timeless more effectively than Mario Kart World did. It could be that Nintendo got its launch games the wrong way around. Or it could be that this was the company's plan all along and it had always planned Switch 2's launch as a two-stage rocket. I think they played it well. Nintendo played it well there. Most likely. It looks like. Why wouldn't you release it when you already have so much gameplay going on by different outlets, news outlets, you know? Would be weird, like if, but I think that was all planned all along. Kids loving Donkey Kong Kang's Bonanza. No Kangs. They should have waited until the month to release the Switch 2. Then they have Donkey Kong Bonanza as well. You seem not to get it. I just read it to you, Galaxy. Yes, it's Final Fantasy 14 woke mind going on there. Speaking of woke, because Final Fantasy 14, watch the shows back yesterweeks. The Pope just blessed a holographic Pokemon card. That was some news. I'm just gonna read what this person got in contact with the Pope wrote to the world. How I describe the experience, Your Holiness, it's a great pleasure to meet you and thank you for your speech. I have brought you a gift. Takes out a reverse holofoil of Poplio. It's Poplio. It sounds like Popolio. The Pope laughs, probably more of a courtesy. At least I thought that until he began showing it off to the guards around him. Swiss guards, by the way. Because I suppose those are the most reliable guards for the Pope. Still. I reach into my pocket to bring out the second card and then a pen. And can you sign a copy for me? I asked, and he obliged. Of course. So this is the card. He signed one, and the other one got blessed. I'll never intended to get rid of because cards are going to be sold usually, but he tells us. I'll never intend to get rid of the card, he wrote on Reddit. It's my personal artifact and I will cherish it in sleeve and one-touch UV slab. He's not even going to send it into a PSEA or GCG. I don't want to grade it. It's just a funny joke that His Holiness indulged in with me. That's worth more than any monetary value can satisfy. Sure. Why did you bless it in the first place? If you're not going to play with it, if you're not going to do anything with it, why did you bless it? Just saying. I think you're a little bit with it. Not full of it, but you have a little bit of that in you. Yeah, and the article talks about the blessing levels and how the 3 or 4 levels of artifacts by the holiness of the Pope when he blesses something, and it depends on if he's using that item himself, if it's in his possession and all that. It's weird, but I guess that's what you get if you're a Catholic and are a Pokemon card collector. Somebody got his card blessed. Might be way much worth now, like 20 times fold, 50 times, who knows. But he's not gonna sell it, don't worry, guys. I said it that before you got it. Like, sorry, can't read chat and article at the same time. I would have weird eyes, man. And we are coming to the end. Good time, man. I'm gonna get a good time. News for people who have too much nostalgia in them, who are a little bit infused with the nostalgia virus. Doom snes limited run collection and rumble controller look sick as hell. So yeah, this company called Limited Run makes limited run stuff, and they made this cartridge of Doom, this collector's edition. But you have to invest a lot of money, $175 US. You get like the cartridge, very, very unique design. You have only 666 units. It's gonna look like this a little bit more bluish gray than the original cartridge of Super Nintendo, but splattered with red as blood. You're gonna get a box, a new shiny box. You're gonna get like a certificate of authenticity. You're gonna get an instruction booklet, and you're gonna get a poster, a 12 by 16-inch poster. Funny thing with this one is, though, it's an enhanced edition of Doom. It's not like the original Doom, which was released in 1995 on the Super Nintendo. I never played it on the Super Nintendo. It had like roughly 10 to 12 frames per second on the console back then. This version gives you fucking 20 frames per second. Not per minute, per fucking second, man. And it has like all the levels pretty much, includes 14 new levels. And it's just fun. They went even a step further. They programmed in the rumble feature, meaning it's gonna vibrate the controller, but only this controller. They created this rumble feature controller with it too, which you just plug in your original Super Nintendo, and it's gonna get signals from this game. And if you don't want the collector's edition, you can get the normal edition for only $100, but also with the feature of rumble and all that, which is interesting. Not my prices, man. I find it a little bit excessive, but it is justifiable, because in the video description below in the news, I have the link to this video. This guy uploaded this, or at least published this video yesterday or a day ago. He already got the unit. He can show it off. It's a very unique cartridge. It's not just refurbished old plates with old chips and all that. It's a very unique cartridge. It has a little Raspberry Pi chip on it that not emulates, but creates FX3 experience, which is not a thing, not a real Nintendo thing, but it can make it able to run like with those 20 frames per second. It looks great. It can run all the new levels, or the whole level list of the original game, and includes the rumble feature, which is just amazing. Go check out the video. I find it very interesting. If you're a Doom guy, you can run on your original hardware the game faster with rumble feature if you get the whole package there. Doom port to SNES was a feature. I can't really talk. I'm fine with multitasking, but with Final Fantasy XIV, it's harder to do because you need to focus on fights. That's lame talking. As a main tank, you should have everything in sight. Everything. The whole world. And the chat. I know how it is as a main tank, especially. If you're a damage dealer, you can get away with just not focusing too much on the happening. But as a main tank, yeah, you better keep attention to the game more. Good thing I only stream it once every other week and twice the other week. I love classic console stuff being made new current year. Anyway, if a limited run wasn't such figs, it would be worth getting their products. Oh, tell me more. What happened there with the limited? I don't know the company. I just saw this news. I mean, I saw in the past their name floating around, but anyway, that bloodstained Curse of the Moon is made with NES graphics, but the game itself was way too large to run on the original NES hardware. So they made a cartridge with a Raspberry Pi inside. Yeah, they did the same here with this one. Inside, make it run on the original NES. The card costs like 100. They did the same with this. I just find it interesting. And the original port guy who made the port from PC back in the 1995 for the Super Nintendo was involved in this project. And of course, Bethesda gave the okay. Bethesda is going to get a little bit money out of this project and all that. So it's a legit product in the end. It's a legit product. You know what? It's legit that we are at the end. Unfortunately, people don't want to come to the news. Not a lot. I appreciate you being very talkative today. I love that though. Yeah, if you want to check out all the news down below, like I said, every news article is linked. Go check it out for yourself. And note Ghost of Utah for the what was it, the 11th. 20 minutes of wokeness, maybe, who knows? Or buy the Super Nintendo version, the extended, enhanced version of Doom, you know? My video is being published on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Every day I start my news, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. I have the chat open. I can talk to everybody. And I love to talk to everybody, and it makes more fun when more people are around. More people means less news, by the way. In the future, keep that in mind, maybe. And I have also, of course, donation links down below. If you want to give me something, I have wish lists down there just to say, just to mention Steam wish list, Amazon's wish list. And you can support me, though, by just following me everywhere. That would help mostly, I would say. Next news tomorrow, like I said, every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. here on this channel. Switzerland Play It. Thank you for being around, guys. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. And see you hopefully soon enough. Bye-bye.